Hey guys, Geno Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. What is that, a French fry? All right, anyway. All right, we're going to start planting our garden. We've got a day in between rainstorms, a little late. For me, I like to have stuff in early and take the chance on, no more cold weather. But it is what it is. Sometimes the weather cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. And if you can't get your garden in for still another few weeks, it's okay. You got time. I know a lot of people who don't plant until May and middle of May, and other gardens do just fine. So me, I like to get them in as soon as possible, so to start producing, especially tomatoes, things that we use a lot of, and we put a lot of it away. We like to use as many of those as we can. So here's what we got. Last fall, a lot of you will remember that I put a few inches of wood chips out here on this new garden area. Last year was the first year we gardened it. It did okay-ish, but it needed some work because it's mainly clay and rock. So what I did was I put a couple inches of wood chips over the top of this. And, there's a lot of folks that said that that's not going to work. That's not going to do anything. You're not going to be able to till it in. The wood chips got too much nitrogen, I think, in them or something like that, or whatever it is that wood chips have, and it'll kill the plants if you till it in. Well, I never intended on tilling it in. What I am going to do is I'm going to plant right into the wood chips. I've got the one thing we got plenty of around here, we've got 24/7 poo production. And you see this one here's got a lot of water in it. These summers got some rainwater in it, and that's okay. That's kind of like a compost tea, and we'll use that to give the plants a good, nice, solid boost of nutrients. I've got some plants here that I got at our local nursery. We do start a lot of our own seeds, but also here on the creek, down the creek a ways that way, we've got a family who makes a lot of their spring living with their greenhouses and their nursery. And I like to support the local creek folk and try to keep things local. And if anybody's going to get my money for a few tomato plants, early tomato plants, it's going to be somebody out here on the creek. So that's just the way I try to do things, support local folks. Anywho, over the winter time, this past winter, we've been dumping rabbit poo, last year's composted chicken manure, all the wood ashes from the heat exchange wood burner. We've been dumping all this stuff out here on this garden, and then I raked it out as smooth as I could get it. And now we're going to plant, like I said, we're going to plant directly into the wood chips. What I plan on doing, what I hope I can do, and what I think is going to work out pretty well, is I'll just clear out an area of the wood chips. I'll dig a little hole. I'll put in some of this poo stuff here, some of this compost, or some of this manure that I have into the hole, and then I'll plant the plant into the hole that I dug. So that's the way we're going to do this, and we're going to start our rows, and we're going to fill it in over the course of the planting season over the spring here. But this is how I plan on doing it. So let me get a couple in the ground, and I'll show you how I'm doing it. I hope it works. All right, let's see how well this works. I'm not a very good camera dude on my own, but here's how I'm going to plant, and here's my plan. I'm going to first take off this layer of wood chips. They're a couple of inches deep, and I'm going to dig down until I hit the dirt here like this. And I'm just going to push everything to the side and clean out my hole. You can see that there's a worm. I don't know if you can see that big worm right there or not, but that's always a good sign for your garden. And these wood chips are holding moisture really, really well, which is a plus. So I've got a pretty good sized hole dug there. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this manure, rabbit manure. Rabbit manure is not a hot manure. It doesn't need to be composted before you utilize it for planting. Chicken manure and hog manure will need to be composted for a little while. So I'm going to put this at the bottom of the hole. Then I'm going to take a few of these wood chips and just make a real thin barrier there. I'm going to get one of my tomato plants. These are Rudger tomatoes. I'm going to kind of mush up the bottom a little bit, spread the roots out, set it in there. And then I'm going to fill it back in with that little bit of dirt and the wood chips around. Now, what I hope is going to happen is that these wood chips are going to help this plant maintain and keep a lot of the moisture that's in the soil, and it's going to help inhibit weed growth around. I know it's not going to stop all the weed growth, but hopefully it's going to help stop some of the weed growth. So we've got a couple of these already in. Let me get a few more in, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right, well, there we have it. Our first row of tomatoes is in the ground here. And you see I went down to that end and I started, and I'll use that the thing that the plants came in. It's, I don't know, it's almost 2 feet wide, but it makes a good row for me. So I'll use that as my gauge coming back this way, planting the second row. I'll get my first 2 rows in. But now that I've got those little plants in the ground, you know, I put that poo in the bottom. The reason that I did that is to encourage the roots, as they start growing down, they'll get into some really good nutrient rich stuff, and that'll encourage the roots to grow down a little bit further. Hopefully that's going to encourage a really good root system. We'll see what happens. You know, I want to try to have good solid plants that are going to be good producers. So now I'm just going to come over here to my little tea. I'm going to get me a container full of it. Yeah, it stinks, it's nasty, it's gross, but it works really good for plants. They love it. Now we've got some rain coming in and the ground is already wet, so I don't want to put too much, but what I want to do is to give those roots and these little plants a nice good boost of nutrients. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each one for now, and then let it rain and let the rain soak in some more. So each little plant's going to get some, and if I have enough, then I'll come back and probably give them another little shot of it this afternoon before it starts raining. But that's what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to plant. And I think it should work out pretty well, but time will tell. So here's what it is. That's how I'm going to do my garden, this garden anyway, without tilling, in the wood chip. So wish me luck. I hope it works. I hope this helps. If you guys are looking to get in the garden, I would encourage you 100%. Love garden. It's a great place to spend time with the family and the kids, teaching them how to grow food and showing them how plants grow and how nature works. And it's just awesome to be outside. And I appreciate all that God has given us, and loving life, man. Love the spring. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless. The end. Where's that dang button at? There it is. Buzz, buzz. The end.